Hey guys, it's Tina. I'm a professional makeup artist, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 secrets or tips to lift droopy, downturned, hooded eyes. My eyes don't look that prominently droopy, downturned, or hooded as much as other people may have, but they still are. So what droopy eye means is that essentially it goes downwards out in the outer corner of the eye and droops down. And what hooded eye means is that the upper part of your eyelid is coming down on top of your eyelid, covering most of it so that when you apply makeup on your eyelid, you can't actually see it. You can see a little bit of my eyelid when my eyes are closed, but it's very, very tiny bit. So it's not as much as your usual normal almond shape or big round eye shape where you would see most of the eyelid. Some people are born with this eye shape, others and most of us get that with time, over time as we age, because gravity just does that. Regardless, today's video's tips are going to be helpful for all of you guys with downturned, droopy, hooded eyes, even if you only have one or the other. Normally it comes hand in hand, but not always. But today's tips are going to be helpful for you. So if you want to see how to lift up your eye, then just keep on watching. I'm going to start by priming my lid with the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Eye Primer. As always, that's what I normally use. I'm going to apply that all over my lid, up to my crease, blend it out. Today I'm going to be using the Lorac Pro Mini Matte Palette. It's just a neutral palette with some neutral shades. You can use any colors that you want and just apply the techniques that I'm about to show you in this video, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using just neutral shades. I just figured I should probably zoom you in a little closer. So here's what normally happens when you start with your transition shade, which is normally the first shade that you're going to apply, and start with that in your crease with a hooded eye like this. You would take your color, let's say I'm going to start with mixing those two shades, Pink Mauve and Corduroy, those two, to apply to my crease. So I'm just taking a crease brush and mixing those colors together. You open your eye, right? You look down to your mirror, you apply it to your crease, you look where your crease is, apply those colors, just like that. Maybe even create a little wing here to sweep it on the other corner. Awesome. Then what happens? You open your eye, where did it go? You can't see anything, right? And if you have an even more hooded eye than me, then the hood is going to cover that even more. It kind of swallows the entire color, so you can't see anything that you put on your crease. And also this little wing that we created on the outer corner all of a sudden looks like a bruise on this outer corner or like a shadow, and it actually drags the eye further down, so that even if you just have a hooded eye and not a droopy or downturned eye, now it looks like a downturned eye because it creates this shadow on this outer corner that creates this heavy weight that just drags it down. Here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to take a bigger fluffy brush like the Sigma E25, and those two shades that I showed previously, I'm going to mix them, and I'm going to drag the color further up. And here comes the first trick. You always want to look straight into the mirror with your eye open. So if you have a hooded eye, always make sure that your eye is open, because when you close your eye or look downwards and apply those shades, when you open your eye or look straight forward, it's gonna look completely different, because then the hood is going to hide half of the things that you've just done. So what you wanna do is make sure to look straight into the mirror with your eye open, and then apply it and see where you need the shade to be. And you want it to go further up, higher than your actual crease with your eye open. You can kind of mark where it goes and then close your eye or look downwards a little bit. And now you see how high and how much higher than you normally would take it is. And then just blend it all together. And when you take it outwards, you want to take it outwards even further up and higher than what you normally would think. And then when you open your eye, now you can actually see the color, and now it's actually dragged outwards and upwards as opposed to being hidden under your hood. Here's secret / tip number 2. So you want to create an imaginary line between the end of your eyebrow and the outer corner of your eye, make them meet together, And you don't want to cross with any darker shades under that imaginary line. So anything down underneath that line, you don't want to apply any dark shades under there. In fact, you actually want to highlight and create a cleaner, more brighter look under that line and keep all the darker shades or all the colorful shades up above it. So I'll show you what I mean by that when I'm going to apply my actual crease outer corner darker shade. I'm first real quick going to just apply a neutral shade all over my lid with the Sigma E55 flat brush in the color Bear, which is just shade right here, just like a light creamy shade. Just apply that all over my lid real quick. And now for this outer corner, I'm going to take my E45 crease brush and a darker color like this shade Chocolate, which is a dark brown over here. And I'm going to be taking that in the outer V area of my eye. So up against the outer corner of my upper lash line, into the outer corner, and then a little bit into the crease, like a third way in to the crease, and then blend in between and drag it outwards. And here I want to remember to not cross that line. So I'm going to keep all of it right up above it. And once again, make sure that you always look up straight into the mirror with your eye open while doing that. If you can't keep your eye open at all times, because obviously you need to see what you're doing, just make sure to always, every once in a while, close your eye and then open it back again, and just make sure to constantly look straight into the mirror with your eye open every few seconds. So I'm going to keep it right here and drag it upwards and not cross that line. Because if we are going to cross that line, we're going to create that shadow like we created in the beginning that is going to create more weight on the outer corner and actually drag the eye further down. We don't want that. We want to lift it and make this area feel brighter and more uplifted. Now the way to create that uplifting, brighter effect on the outer edge, I'm actually going to be cleaning it even more with a flat brush. This is E55 again. And I'm going to take Bear, which is the same beigey shade that I applied all over my lid, and take that to the outer corner and create that imaginary line we were talking about. But right now, apply that shade right up against under that imaginary line. Now this is not baking or anything like that. I'm just applying it, packing that color over there. And then I'm gonna take just a clean blending fluffy brush and just barely swipe it to get rid of that very sharp line, make it not that noticeable, but it still just keeps this area bright. What you can further do is actually apply a highlighter there. I know, I said a highlighter. Now you don't want to use anything that's too shimmery or too sparkly or glittery or anything like that. You want to use something that's very diffused and very soft, like a glow from within natural highlighter. I'm going to be using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Diffused Light. It looks like this, and it's very diffused. So I'm going to take the same E55 brush and take a little bit of that, top off any excess, and use that under there. And then once again, blend it with that brush. What that makes is brightens this area, makes it pop up a little more, and it creates an illusion like this is more lifted up, and therefore lifting your eye even further up. I'm gonna highlight my inner corner a little bit with Linen, which is this white color all around my tear duct area, and take it a little bit under my eyebrow just to create that depth and definition and kind of separate between my transition and crease shade and then the eyebrow. Then I'll also apply a little bit with a flat E20 brush of those two shades, Corduroy and Pink Mauve, that I applied as my transition shade. I'm gonna take a little bit under my lower lash line, just for a little bit of definition as well. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Galactic Longwear Gel Eyeliner in Pure Black. And I'm going to be applying that straight from the tube and then blending it a little bit and creating that flick eyeliner cat eye effect with the small angle E65 by Sigma. And we're going to keep the same rules as for all the eyeshadows, which is not passing that imaginary line. So now that we have this highlight shade applied, it's going to be actually even easier to follow the shape of that line because now we can actually see it. So I'm applying a little bit on the very outer corner, and then with that brush, I'm going to be smudging it a little bit inwards, a little bit outwards, and creating that wing, following that highlighting line, which is now not that imaginary. Now, normally, when you look up like this, you would think, okay, this is too high, like way too high. My eye actually ends right here, right? Not up there, but right here. So I should probably take it about here, and it's still gonna be a flick eyeliner. But then you you open your eye, and then you see that that line is actually going very much downwards. And that's going to emphasize the droopiness and the downturnedness of your eye shape. So you do want to keep it right above this line, because then when you open your eye, that's where it looks, where it's lifting the eye, and actually it looks like it's following the shape of your actual natural eye, even though it doesn't, but it creates that illusion of a more uplifted eye shape. I hope everything I'm saying makes sense. That's the way that I like applying a very soft eyeliner. Now, I do have a video about eyeliner for downturned droopy eyes that has all kinds of tips and tricks for eyeliner specifically. So if you want to watch that, go ahead and watch that after you watch this video, because now we're moving on to tip number 3. Now, secret number 3 has to do with mascara. I'm going to first curl my lashes, and you do want to preferably always curl your lashes because that's going to lift them up even more and prevent them from dragging down, emphasizing the droopiness or downturnedness of your eye. And if you don't have an eyelash curler, you don't like using it, I do have a video on how to curl your lashes without using a curler, and that is just as efficient and effective. So you can watch that video after as well. And I'm going to be applying my mascara. Now, 2 things that you want to keep in mind with your mascara, and this is tip number 3. First, you want to apply it in sweeping motions outwards towards the direction out of your eye, rather than just applying them up straight, because that's going to create more of a rounded shape. We're going for a more slanted, lifted cat eye shape look. And so if you're dragging the mascara outwards, this is the way that your lashes are going to dry in the shape of, and that's going to create this more of a cat eye uplifted effect. So it basically what it does, it creates the effect that your eye is being pulled upwards with the direction of the lashes. But that's not all. Remember that imaginary line? You don't want to pass that with mascara either. Now, naturally, if you have a downturned eye, you may or may not, but most likely have lashes that are passing that line on the outer corner. If you do, make sure to not apply mascara on them. Now, it might feel weird at first, but you're gonna see in a minute why you should do that. I'm actually going to demonstrate that for you. So I have lashes on the very outer corner. Let's say I'm following all my lashes, just apply mascara all over. Now what that does is defeats the whole purpose of what we've been doing so far by highlighting this area and keeping it clean and avoiding anything dark on that outer corner. Because now you have mascara there, which, because the lashes are more heavy with the mascara on it, they're going to cast a shadow on this outer corner and from a distance create this darker casting effect on the outer corner, once again creating more heaviness and weight on the outer corner, dragging it downwards. So if you by accident just applied some mascara on the outer corner lashes, or you're not sure where to stop, you can always take your fingers and remove that mascara really quickly before it dries down. And you only want to apply mascara on the outer corner up to that imaginary line, which now you can follow by the eyeliner that you just applied. So you don't want any mascara on the lashes that go past that eyeliner. Once again, sometimes it's hard to be that precise on this outer corner. So what I like doing is trying to be as precise as I can, and then if I get some mascara on those lashes, I just look straight into the mirror, follow the line of my eyeliner, and remove the mascara from the lashes underneath it. Now, I personally like to avoid applying mascara on my bottom lashes altogether. I just feel personally, for me, for my eye shape and color and everything, that it creates more of a cat eye uplifted effect. And this is what I like it looking. But if you do want to apply mascara on your bottom lashes, make sure to keep it very close to the root of the lashes, especially on the outer corner. So apply just a little bit, very close to the roots of your lashes. And when you come to this outer edge, keep it as close as possible. And once again, try to avoid as much as possible the outer corner lashes on the very outer corner. Now, if you have very long lashes, especially, you don't want to apply mascara all over your lashes because that's going to create that droopy, dragging downwards, heavy effect on the outer corner, which we're trying to avoid. Instead, make sure to keep it very, very close to the roots on the outer corner and maybe go longer, more into the center and inwards into the inner corner of the eye. And that's it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you found it helpful, which tip you liked the most, and what other videos with tips like that you want me to make in the future. And I'll see you in my next video.